Hi, my name's Cass, and thank you for watching my video today. Also, thank you to everybody who watched my last two videos. My first one was on distracted society and the bushfires over the New Year's period, and then my last video was on the ScoMo protests. Today I'm going to be talking about the Sydney smoke and just how dangerous it really is for us. I've been looking into these fires, and the smoke that's being caused has actually almost travelled all the way around the world now, and it's soon about to hit Perth again. And a lot of people are aware of the fact that these bushfires obviously have health effects, but they're effects that we're not really sure of at this point in time. So what do they include? Well, asthma, and any other respiratory conditions usually suffer the most during this point in time. But then again, there's also, there have been studies now done that are proving that smoke inhalation, and particularly smoke particles, contribute to depression and anxiety. And lately, a lot of people in Sydney have been reporting actually that they've been feeling really particularly down lately, which, you know, could just be the general malaise of what's actually happening in our country right now. I mean, it's the middle of summer, so everybody's very dewy right now, I believe is the word. But anyways, these fires, right, so they're still going, and I don't think they're as bad as they were initially, but now we're starting to see the health effects of smoke. So, bushfire smoke, according to the Queensland government, is a mixture of different sized particles, water vapor and gases, which include, but are not limited to, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and nitrogen oxides. If you don't know what carbon monoxide is, that is essentially car exhaust, and you might be familiar with a suicide method called carbon monoxide poisoning. Now, the health effects of carbon monoxide poisoning are actually quite subtle, and the reason for this is that carbon monoxide itself is an invisible, odorless, tasteless gas. Okay, you don't know that it exists, basically. But the signs of carbon monoxide poisoning might include a dull headache, weakness, dizziness, nausea or vomiting, shortness of breath, confusion, blurred vision, and loss of consciousness. So there's actually a study that I found yesterday that actually proves that the inhalation of these particles that not only we are inhaling, but basically the rest of the world at different points, is making us depressed. And also the inhalation of these particles has even been linked to increased suicide. So this is no laughing matter. This is not just smoke that we're breathing in here. This is definitely something different, and it's really something that we shouldn't be ignoring. Like, I can't stress that enough. And something I heard on the news the other day, this phrase which I found absolutely disgusting. It was called the new normal. And you'll be seeing this everywhere.
Well, I think we've got to prepare for a new normal. And the new normal, I think there is a community expectation now that there'd be a more direct ability for the Commonwealth, particularly through the Australian Defence Forces, to be able to take actions.
And frankly, if this is the new normal, breathing in suicide smoke, then I want unhinged chaos. I really do, because this is not right. We can't function healthily, and I think this is a time, more than any time right now, for us to not divide ourselves. I mean, we are so divided in so many ways. We think it's just one or the other. We think it's left, right. No. We have left, right, male, female, gay, straight, black, white. We are so divided by our stupid ideologies that we fail to see that this is not a time for arguing. We need to come together and actually attempt to solve this. I'm not saying that the arguments that we have are invalid. What I'm saying is, maybe can't we just put these aside just for a little while, so that we can focus on this immediate issue that is going to kill us And if it won't kill us, it'll make us very, very sick. At least we deserve the right to survive so we can continue to argue. Let's look at it that way. We may never see peace on Earth, folks, but, you know, at least we have the right to live and to argue if we all come together and attack this thing. But it's a lot more complex than that. How do we attack this issue? You know, we can't just stop fossil fuels. We can't just attack climate change today and expect results tomorrow. This smoke is actually impacting our health. Now, there's a really great website that you can look at. It's called purpleair.com. It gives you a live reading of the air quality in different parts of New South Wales and in the world in general. And it also allows you to compare the air quality conditions of other areas such as China and Europe. And on bad days, the score for the Australian air quality or the East Coast can be anywhere between 200 and 1,000 on a scale that is reasonably meant to go up to 500. There've already been a couple of deaths related to the smoke. Mind you, one of the girls that died as a result was an asthmatic, but as I said before, this is not just limited to people with respiratory issues. This applies to all of us. This is not just a one-time carbon monoxide exposure situation. This is long-term exposure to poisonous gases that are not only designed to deteriorate the human body, but also they deteriorate the mind. You know, they make us lazy, they give us headaches. We don't want to go out and do things while we're under the influence of carbon monoxide poisoning. I don't know if there is something that we can all do right now. I mean, you know, I'm not the spokesperson of solutions. I know that wearing gas masks doesn't look very cool. You know, even I think they look a little lame. If everybody was wearing the masks, then it wouldn't look so stupid, and the people not wearing masks would be the stupid looking ones. And also, you know, limit your exposure outside, especially on days when the smoke is bad. It's not bad every single day. We had really low ratings today, which is good, but yesterday the ratings were up near 200, and then the day before that they were about 270, so it's fluctuating at this point in time. But yeah, just use common sense. Don't expose yourself too much to this air. It's poison, okay? The world is changing, and I refuse, and hopefully you refuse too, to accept this as the new normal. Don't let politicians get away with calling this the new normal, okay? Because if they're allowed to call this the new normal, they're allowed to call anything the new normal. They're allowed to call tyranny the new normal. They're allowed to call Orwellian values the new normal. And eventually the new normal, the precedent for what we know as new normal, will keep shifting and shifting and shifting and shifting until we no longer recognize our world. So that's all I have really to say today. Stay tuned for next week. I make videos every single week. At the moment, they're not amazing quality, as I understand. You know, I'm just getting started, and I understand that, you know, the standard for YouTube is very high. But, you know, keep watching. I'm going to cover the bushfires all throughout January, and then February I'm going to go into a new topic. So thank you so much, and have a great day. See ya.